Candace Owens, Andrew Tate, the interview for the decades.
Oh my goodness.
We are here today to react to this conversation. You guys excited?
Oh my gosh.
Let's do it.
Very much so.
At time of filming, this launched 18 hours ago, so we're going to try to pump this out as fast as possible, but whew,
Give us your reactions and feedback as well.
I'm ready. Y'all ready?
Let's do
Let's
it.
do it.
And the warrior spirit is really important. And it's something that I speak about a lot, that men need to go be men. Even in capacity of my marriage, my husband needs his guy time. I need my girl time.
Yes.
The masculine and feminine, it's very important. The fact that my husband hunts and shoots and does these things, that's very attractive to me.
Yep.
To know that if the grocery store is faded away, that he could go catch dinner.
Let's
You know what I
go.
mean? That he
Yeah.
knows how to skin an animal.
Absolutely.
And they poison that. Look at the hunters. Look at the way they view hunters. They look at people in the South.
Yep.
This is why they know how to ranch. They know how to farm. They know how to survive on
'Cause
their
they're
own,
men.
which is why they start
Yeah.
to poison that mentality, which is why I think it's really important that you're speaking to young men about why it is okay to be a man, giving them permission to be a man in a capacity that I can't give them that permission. In the same way that I try to give women the permission to know that don't allow them to delude you to believing that this is femininity. It is not femininity, Lena, to have your husband offer your body to another man on camera.
All
That's
right,
the
all right,
poison.
all right. Pause it. Oh, all right. All right, guys. We gotta give you some context. All right. So the context behind this, she mentioned Lena giving her, her husband giving her to another man, right? So her husband is Adam 22. He is a big podcaster, has a big following, used to be in BMX rider, and ended up doing porn with his wife. And they only did porn scenes, she only did with other women. I don't want to get too much into it, but it was disgusting. And they got married, and she decided to offer herself up on camera to a professional porn star, basically. So a big guy. And so it was unfortunate. The problem is that they went on Aiden Ross's live and started talking to Andrew Tate. They just randomly joined the podcast or the live show, and they asked Andrew Tate to join them on a video.
Are you kidding me?
And Andrew Tate looked at them as if they had an IQ of like 80 and said, why would I ever do that? You could not pay me enough money in the world to do that. He doesn't
married,
need that.
dude,
He has so much money. He's becoming more respected.
When you get married, that's the first action you do?
Like, why would you? Like, I would never. I can't imagine in a million years.
I have a Mexican wife. If I was like, hey, so you want to? She would slap me so hard.
She'd
bro.
probably slap you with a taco.
She would.
A straight up,
Straight
flat
up
tortilla,
flat
like that
tortilla.
big-
The tortilla challenge. You guys seen the tortilla challenge
Oh
out there?
my gosh,
She would slap you in the
dude.
face.
I don't know if she would slap you, but she would go from 0 to 10 in terms of being fired up and would have a lot to say.
Bro.
She's probably start cursing at you in Spanish.
Yeah, she might not.
Yeah, Isaac's got it. She would start.
Can't get it. Jeez.
I can't believe it. I
This
can't believe
world,
that they
man.
had the audacity
The audacity
to go and ask the number one influencer in the world that is trying to help young men, which I don't agree with some of his stuff, to be better and have a better mindset. You think that offering your wife up to this man, you think in a million years that somebody with his status would ever do that?
Why did they even get married?
I don't understand.
What do they do?
So
All right,
that's-
we're going to get too
all right,
far in this,
'cause
guys. My blood's boiling. My blood pressure's up. Let's just get back
So
to
Yeah,
it.
that's-
we haven't seen this, but I'm assuming that she's going to go into more detail about it. So
Probably.
Teach women that this is sexual freedom, that this is sexual liberation. I looked at that and I saw a slave relationship. I saw a master offering his slave to another person because he was just so. I just love Andrew Tate. Would you like to see with my
You know
wife?
what?
I would be
Pause
okay
that.
with that.
Pause it.
Pause that because I think it's actually in reverse. Adam's the one
okay.
that's a slave in this situation.
Oh, shots fired.
Because-
shots
22 is
fired.
slave.
It's like the Tates and everyone else has said before. Responsibility without authority is slavery. You are, as a man, you are responsible for your wife, but if you have no authority in the relationship, you are essentially a slave. She's the one who's continuing to want to do this. She's the one that wants to have a threesome with Andrew Tate, and he's just kind of along for the ride.
When you get to a point where you're doing it in your marriage, man,
That covenant relationship where
That's
you're bonded
such a-
together, where you said, and when you're at that marriage altar, I can't imagine my wife with someone else, my future wife.
the problem is when you don't have respect enough for your
This is
significant
baseline
other.
respect, man.
All right, let's continue this. But this is
I don't want to.
sad.
I could go on for this for hours.
This is sad, man.
Horrific. That is not femininity. That is not masculinity.
Correct. I absolutely agree with you on that point. You're totally right there. And I think that's probably one of the most misogynistic things that have happened on the internet in recent times.
Yes.
But perhaps they're on the right side of the political spectrum. I don't know. I don't know which side they're on. But if they're on the correct side, you seem to get away with things. But it's very interesting what you're saying about your husband and fishing and hunting and stuff. I completely agree with you. And there's another thing about masculinity as a whole that I don't think that a lot of people want to address, but it's something that's certainly large in terms of my following. Because if we break down, if anyone's watching this now and they're trying to understand why is Andrew Tate so popular? Well,
Yeah,
I
why?
believe I speak to the base instincts of
Base instincts. 100%.
base instincts. And one of the base instincts also for men, I don't think a lot of people understand, is to a degree is peacocking and showing off to a degree. And
Yeah.
I do that fantastically. But it is. And
So
if you look
humble,
at
Andrew.
men of old and they used to conquer and they'd wear a feather from the man they killed or a
Drag
piece
him
of
through the
gold they
street.
stole. There was always that degree of flexing, showing off.
Very true.
And I think it's being unapologetically masculine and saying, yeah, I'm a big, successful man and I can afford all this stuff and this is who I am and I've worked my ass off and this is what I have and I'm not sorry about it and I'm dedicated and I'm hardworking and no, I'm not. I don't feel like I should have to cower or hide or apologize to the world for any of these things. And I think that's the reason why a lot of men find affinity in my message. And you're right. Baseline masculinity is being attacked and women
Yes, it
women
is.
naturally don't find it attractive to find a man who's not that way anyway. But baseline masculinity is being attacked because they want you absolutely not dependent on the government so that the government can decide whether you eat that day. And I don't want to be a pessimist, but I still think in many ways, almost with technological advances, it's going to be very difficult to resist. I think it's actually scary. I don't know how the world's going to be in 100 years from now, but I don't know if there's going to be much freedom left.
Wow.
I don't know about you.
There.
Wow.
That's such a good point. Peacocking, Jordan, go into peacocking. What are your thoughts on what he said?
Well, it's very true because women by nature are hypergamous, which means that they typically tend to want the best male for the sake of survivability. That's just the way our instincts have baked in over thousands and thousands of years, because for the longest time that was the game, was surviving. Right. So in order for a female to survive and make sure that her lineage was going to carry on, was to find a man who was going to make sure that they were going to survive.
Yeah, so they were,
know?
if they were going to be invaded by a neighboring village or country, the woman would want to know that her man can protect her.
Right. Exactly. And peacocking, from the male side of things, is typically how we instinctually show women that we are the best man. That is how we typically tend to show that we are a viable mate. And he brings up wearing stuff like even a three-piece suit, like if you're wearing a suit outside of the workplace, that typically tends to show that you're on your purpose and you're always dressed nice no matter where you go.
Yeah, Jordan Peterson says the same thing. He says that wearing a suit, it just naturally boosts your confidence. And it puts a different status on you,
right?
To where subconsciously, even the way you walk in a room or talk to people, just naturally changes.
Exactly. I'll take it even a step further with strength training and like getting jacked and making your body bigger.
Jacked.
Typically, when you do that,
jacked,
but typically when you do that, like you naturally want to show that off.
If he burns, it grows.
This is funny. I know this is a little sidetrack, but I was watching Brett Cooper yesterday.
And I have such a crush on Brett Cooper. If you're watching this,
I'm
single.
If you want to react to one of our videos, I
She's
know
getting
we are
too old to
small
have
time,
kids
but
with
we're
now.
about to be big time. One of her videos was titled "Just Ask the Woman Out," and it was very interesting because I watched it, and the whole premise of the video is that women out there are really craving a man that has the confidence to go up to them and ask them out. There were all these videos of women crying out and commenting saying they've never been kissed and they're 25, they've never been on
that's
a
a
date.
good movie.
They'll
Never
go-
Been Kissed. Have you ever seen that?
Drew Barrymore.
That was her when she was
Boom.
actually really attractive.
But
Yeah.
women are craving a man
Kinda.
that is direct,
Yeah.
that want to ask them out because they don't want to have to go and ask the man out because that is very embarrassing.
Can I
for
give
them.
it a little tip? All right. So what I used to do.
Oh my gosh!
is-
Here we go.
This
Here
is
we
really
go.
fun. This is really
Here
fun.
we go.
This is a good one.
Isaac's Tinder days.
Oh God. Oh God. Those are bad days. Never again.
Go ahead.
Eye contact. is so important.
Yep.
You know, when you're walking up to a woman, even in a church setting, a business setting, you know, you're out with your buddies or you're going out with friends, just look at her in the eyes. The eyes are the windows to the soul. Eye contact alone is a connection point. You don't even have to have physical contact, right? You can just look at her in the eyes and say, I think you're so beautiful. I'd love to get to know you more. And then just walk away.
It's almost like mental peacocking.
Yeah.
Because another
they like that, though.
Another really good approach is to ask as little questions as humanly possible. Say, you know, instead of hey, you know, would you mind going out with me sometime? Say, hey, look, you're attractive, I'm attractive. We're gonna go out. When's the next day you're available?
Women they like a man who knows what he wants.
Yeah.
And communicates.
You also
that.
have to feel the vibe because every woman's different. I like the approach of when you go up to a woman, just if you're at a bar, ask her if you can buy her a drink. Just ask her 1 or 2 questions. Be like, hey, so tomorrow night, let's go out to dinner. I'd love to get to know you more. And so what you're doing is you're not asking, hey, would you like to go out with me? You're saying, let's go out tomorrow.
Yeah.
And by doing that, you're making it so they don't have to think so much about it. Mm-hmm. They're very excited.
That was good married advice, David. Good married advice. All right.
Very directness helps. But ask the woman out. Brett Cooper had it right. Just go ask the woman out.
But see, even in your approach, that's not disproving what I just said.
No,
because in that situation, you're still not asking her.
It's a compliment.
Hey, we should go out.
Yeah. I think it's the way that it's communicated, right? So you guys are both saying the same thing. It's
Yeah.
just
I'm
a
just
little bit.
far more
Jordan has
aggressive.
a little bit more testosterone, so it's a little bit more.
See,
it's a little more direct.
Unlike you on the other video, I don't believe I have physical limitations. So
I know my center of gravity. I realized after looking at myself in the mirror, I realized my center of gravity was actually pretty good. So it's just a mentality. That's gotta get better.
Comment, subscribe. If you're watching this and you haven't subscribed, what are you even doing? Just
what are you doing? Come on.
Cause we're gonna have
some fun with us.
Awesome content. We got the Viking here all the time. But comment below. Do you struggle asking women out? Women, do you need a man just to freaking ask you out? But comment below and subscribe.
I am single, by the way.
Ooh, I'm not single. He's not single.
Single and ready to Christian Pringle. Let's get it.
This man over here kind of, tickles your fancy.
Tickles your fancy? I don't want that. That sounds like borderline harassment.
If he tickles your fancy, send him some photos on Instagram.
Nah,
don't do that.
We're trying to get
don't listen to him. Don't listen to him.
We're trying to get away from that kind of culture, bro.
Yeah.
Right. No, I don't mean sexual pictures. Send some pictures of you in a sundress.
I will instantly block you.
All right, let's see if there's any more knowledge, any more information that we need to get from here. Also, we're in a sauna, so if I'm sweating,
the AC's off.
It's not
today.
because Isaac makes me nervous. So just FYI,
It is a little
it's
hot up
really
here.
hot.
I mean, these eyes are really blue, but I don't think you get that nervous.
Blue as the deep sea.
Hey,
all right, let's go.
But when I look at the things they're doing with CBDCs and electric cars and the way the currency is going to change, it's going to be very difficult to resist without literally starving to death. So I don't know what's going to come. So
Learn to farm.
Learn to
Learn
farm.
hunt,
That's
learn to
right.
shoot. Don't
So-
let them
Learn
convince
to
you
farm.
that's somehow
Pause it,
racist
pause it. I think that's good to place to end. Speaking of technology, we'll be going over this in upcoming episodes, and I'm starting a channel with AI, crypto, and business.
In the
So
next
that's
few
what he's
months.
that's what
The
he's
next
talking
few
about
months.
with
We could
technology.
even go into farming because starting with farming is much easier than people think it is.
See, that's the problem. When I think of farming, I think of Pokemon Go. So I need to reprogram.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my god,
bro!
dude, we haven't played that in years.
Oh my gosh, I lost so much weight when I did Pokemon Go.
Pokemon
David
Go.
and I, my brother and I.
What are you doing? What's your marketing campaign?
Yeah, my brother and I used to drive around a cemetery to catch Pokemon Go.
I felt bad. There was actually people doing funerals.
Were they really?
There were actually people doing funerals. Those were.
I'm surprised we didn't get banned.
Bro, we were very discreet, but yet we really weren't at the same time. We were walking and
I think the cemeteries were hoping that people were going to get into car accidents in the cemetery and they didn't have far to go.
All right, guys. Well, this was a great interview. We're going to do more all the time. Again, comment, subscribe. If you haven't subscribed, what are we doing? We're going to be coming up with stuff all the time. So, all right, gents, we appreciate it. We're going to have fun.
Peace.
Peace.
Peace.